Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you so much, Mataji, for warm welcoming, and thank you, Revati Mataji, for that very beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Our glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vanita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. And thank you, Revati Mataji, for the beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vanita Ganvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati, and thank you, Revati Mataji, for reciting the Bhagavad Gita chapter 3. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna,
much.
Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association every single day and the beautiful chanting. All grace to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. This is Revati from Atlanta, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Revati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you for joining every single day and giving a beautiful association. And thank you for the beautiful Bhagavad Gita recitation. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga. This is Haridas from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. And Revati Mataji, that is very beautiful recitation, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees, once again I welcome you all for this mid-morning session. Thank you so much for joining. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. If Krishna does not supply you this sunlight, you will die. But he does not charge anything. But because you are a human being, you should try to repay. Oh, Krishna is giving us so much facilities. Let me render some service unto him. This is Krishna consciousness. This is to acknowledge, oh God, you are so kind. You are giving so many things. So I have collected this fruit. It is your fruit, I know. Still, please accept. Columbus, May 9th, 1969. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Good morning, dear devotees. Today we're very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be enlightening on the topic of Sacred Vow of Margashirsha, session 17. Good morning. Please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Thank you so much for
Hare
joining.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining and giving your valuable time and wonderful association this morning. Waiting eagerly to hear from you, Prabhu. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. I hand over the call to you. Please take over. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. I welcome each and every devotee of Bhakti Sangha Japa group to this August session of the Sacred Vow of Margashirsha. We are in the 17th session. We are very progressively seeing the great, wonderful, nectarian, rasic, beautiful verses of Andal in the form of Tirupavai. Now, this is a South Indian literature in terms of the language which is used is pure Tamil. However, it is modeled and it is taking inspiration from the pastime of the Nanda Vraja Kumarika stories or the pastimes of how they performed their Katyayani Vrata. So till now, we have been seeing a series of verses, and today is a turning point in terms of the last gopi, whom we have been waking up for the last 10 weeks. Every week, we have been urging one gopi to wake up, and that entire episode is going to conclude today in terms of waking up the 15th gopi. So without further ado, let us start. But before we start, before we wake up the final gopi who is seemingly sleeping and singing the beautiful pastimes, let us wake up from our ignorance and let us march towards the beautiful knowledge of Krishna consciousness which is given by our acharyas. So let us pay our humble obeisances unto all the predecessors, acharyas, and beg for their mercy before we start to attempt to understand the 15th verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapata Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् हरि ओम tat sat. So, my dear devotees, welcome to another session of the Sacred Vow of Margashirsha. We all know the backstory, so I would not be repeating. I would be delving rightly into the pastime and the verse for today. The brief context is that Andal has planned to conduct the Sacred Vow of Margashirsha, modeled around the Katyayani Vrata. She wanted to gather all her friends and together go and take a beautiful bath in the rivers of Yamuna. And when she assembled all her friends on the day, she found out that 10 of her thickest of friends are missing from the group. And these are the leader gopis amongst the 5 lakh gopis. She didn't want to leave them behind. So she went and knocked on each and every door and started to wake them up and request them to join and do Nam Sankirtan. So the idea was to perform a group Nam Sankirtan and proceed towards Yamuna to take a bath. This is the idea. And this idea was successful when all the 4,99,990 gopis assembled together, and one by one they started calling out the missing gopis. Today, we are at the crossroads where we have assembled 4,99,999, and we are going to see the 15th gopi join in the ranks. So, while we do that, it's very important for us to reflect upon, to think upon this pastime. This pastime, till now, we have been trying to wake up each and every single gopi, and through that we have been trying to narrate, to tell a story of what the conversation is going on, the story of what is happening at the doorstep, what is being said by all the gopis from outside who are standing outside and knocking on the door. What are the conversations which are made by the gopi who is sleeping within? Now, all these appear in the commentaries of the acharyas. So we are going across in a 6-dimensional format, in an hexagon format, where every dimension unfurls different sets of meaning. So today it's going to be no different. We're going to follow the same format of these 6 dimensions, and we are going to navigate through this verse in all these 6 dimensions. So without further ado, let us first give a brief introduction about the gopi whom we are going to wake up today. My dear devotees, we saw in the previous verse that we described the Lord as the one with red lotus eyes. And he has these redness in his eyes. And he's very beautiful to look at. This was the comment which was made by Andal. And this goaded the gopi who was lying down and sleeping in the previous house. She wanted to glorify the Lord and she came outside. Now, the 15th gopi is a neighbor and she heard all these conversations which was going on. And when Andal said that the Lord is having red lotus-like eyes, reddish lilies or reddish eyes, then the girl in this house, she started hearing those glories and started to sing. Now, what she is doing is that the gopi whom we are going to wake up today, she has been hearing all the conversations of the other 14 gopis. Seems like it has reached her. And all these verses which were used from 5th verse to 14th verse, all these verses were understood by this gopi, the final one who is sleeping inside. And what she's doing is she's humming and she's giving a song. She's singing the glories of what Andal has sung already. When she says, come and sing about Lord Ram, she's already thinking about the Lord and singing. When she says, come and sing about Krishna, the enchanter of the gopis, she's already singing about the glories of Krishna. So in this way, the gopi whom we are going to wake her up, she's already singing. And she's singing on the redness of the eyes of the Lord, on his strength, on his capability, on killing Bakasur, on the ability to charm the gopis, all these different pastimes she's remembering and going into ecstasy. And when devotees are very happy and they are in ecstasy, they start to sing. So this gopi is singing. Why I'm saying this is please open the eyes of your heart and please try to imagine that you are at that footstep along with Andal. You're about to knock, but you are about to hear this beautiful song which is being hummed in and which is trying to be sung by this gopi. And it is very beautiful to hear this song which is being sung by this gopi. Another particular quality about this gopi is she never wants to enjoy Krishna alone. She always loves the association of devotees. So today's topic or today's verse will revolve around these two aspects. One, aspect of association. Second, giving respect to others than oneself. So these two are going to be the centralized topic of today's verse. So without further ado, let us see today's verse. I'm going to again use the OneNote where it is easy for all of us to read through. Let me share my screen and you will see the share. Yes, here it comes. Okay. Let me know when you can see.
We can see it, Prabhuji.
You can see my screen? Okay. Let me. Yes. So the song goes like this. Elle ilankiliye innum orangidayo sin en ennayenamin nangamir podar kinen vallayun katturaigal pandeyun vayariyum வல்லீர்கள் நீங்களே நானேடன் நாயுடுக ஒல்லை நீ போயாள் உனக்கேனே வேறுடையாய் எல்லாரும் போந்தாரோ போந்தார் பொந்தனிகோல் வல்லனை கொன்னனை மாற்றை மாட்டாய்க வல்லனை மாயனை பாதேலோ ரும்பாவாய். So very difficult in terms of various words which are being used here. However, this is going to be very easy as a verse to understand. As I said, all the previous verses were in a conversational format. That means the gopis will say something, the gopi within will reply something. This is how the format is. However, all these conversations are part of commentaries. It is not there in the verse itself. The acharyas have written, because she said like this, the answer was given so. But this particular verse, every single line is a conversation in itself. So this is in a very dramatical style. It's like a script which is being spoken. So for example, the first verse is spoken by the girls or the gopikas who are standing outside the door. The second line is spoken by the gopi who is sleeping inside. The third line is again a reply to the question which is asked by the gopi. So let us see in that similar fashion what is the meaning. And here is the meaning. So the first line says, Elle ilankiliye. It says, O girl who has the sweet tone of a tender parrot. Who is saying this? The gopikas from without. That means one who are standing outside the door. So the gopikas who are standing outside the door, they are saying that, oh girl who has the sweet tone of a tender parrot, how is it that you are still asleep? What is the reason of you being asleep? Then the girl from within, she says, oh perfect gopikas. She addresses them as perfect. Oh gopis who are perfect. Don't shout like this. Don't shrill your voice and ask this question in a very piercing manner. Please don't shrill your voices. Sometimes when some devotees, they call out for someone, it doesn't have the tone of sweetness. Sometimes it might have a shrill voice, and shrill voice is not very pleasing to hear. So the girl within, she is saying, you guys are perfect, but how come your voices are not perfect? You have shrill voices and it is causing annoyance. It is annoying me. Why is it annoying you? Because she's already singing the Lord's glories. She's already wonderfully singing the Lord's glories. And while singing the Lord's glories, while being in ecstatic emotions, when somebody tries to call you and try to get your attention, then the voice seems to be quite shrill in nature. And hence, she says, don't worry, I'm coming out presently. I'm going to come out of this door and I'm going to meet you all. Because the girl from within, she wants to come out and meet the devotees who are standing at the door. But the girls who are standing outside, they are hearing this and they say, you are a very clever girl. We have heard many times your promises. And we also know that you are harsh and at the same time you are very clever and you are a manipulator of the words. You will tell us that you are coming, but you will not come. Because you are enjoying so much in spiritual ecstasy, thinking about the Lord and singing his songs, why will you come and share it with us? It seems like you might not come out. And you are very clever. We already know your harshness, your sarcasms, your adroitness, and the way you are a clever manipulator of your words. So the girls who are outside are blaming the girl inside that you are just two-faced. You might say that you will come, but we know that you are a sweet talker. You will talk your way out, but you will not come outside. So in this way, they are actually saying that you will not come. So now what happens? Now the girl who is within has heard a criticism which is on her, which is coming from Andal and the troop of girls. They have said that you are a manipulator of words and you are very clever and harsh. So she immediately retorts and says, you all or you alone, Andal, are clever and harsh. And then she realizes, oh no, what I have done. I have called devotees wrong. I have insulted the devotees by calling them as harsh. She immediately goes on a repentant mode and says, okay, let's not have this argument. Why am I blaming you? Why is this blame game happening at my doorstep? You all have come to wake me up so that I can get your association. In fact, I should be admitting my mistake. Okay, I admitted it. I am harsh. Let's not have this argument. So there is a change of heart of the girl within. First, she retorts. Then she says, I'm sorry. I am the one at fault. In fact, you all have come here for my good existence and my bhakti. And I should be the one who should come out and serve all of you. So she says, you alone are clever and harsh, comes the retort. But at the same time, she says, why am I doing this argument? All right, I alone am harsh. I am the one who is sleeping inside. Let me accept that I am the harsh person. Then the gopis speak, who are outside. They say, what is so special about you? They continue. They're saying, there seems to be something special. You are so humble and you're accepting your mistakes. And maybe that is the reason that there is something special about you. But they want to hear it from her, what is so special about you. And why is that you are not coming out and associating with us? Why are you keeping this spiritual ecstasy, these spiritual emotions of remembering Krishna, singing about Krishna, and taking the holy names of Krishna? Why you are doing it alone? Please come out quickly. And hence there is an urge again by Andal saying, this humility deserves, we also deserve your association. You also deserve our association. Come out. Then the next line she says, okay, I'm coming out, but tell me, has everyone arrived? Now, thank God she says that everyone has arrived, because this is the 15th gopi. This is the last gopi whom we want to wake her up. So she says, yes, everyone arrived. Then Andal says, why don't you come outside, touch each and every person and count for yourself? Because 4,99,999 gopis have come. If you don't want to believe me, you come outside, step outside, take your finger, touch on each and every devotee and count. And you will find that 4,99,999. And then you turn that finger and touch yourself, 4,99,999 plus 1, 5 lakh gopis. We are all here. What if you don't believe us? Why don't you come and touch each and every devotee and count them? Then she confirms from within, is it? Is that what I should do? Am I supposed to do anything else? She says, yes. You know, you started singing in such glorious way Krishna's names. In such glorious fashion, you were singing Krishna's glories and pastimes. I want you to come out and sing the glory of Krishna. Which Krishna? The Krishna whose pastimes we know. Krishna who has killed that mighty elephant, Kuvalya Pitha, in Mathura, who was Kamsa's elephant. And he has finished the arrogance of the enemies in the Malla Yuddha, which is Chanura and Mushtika. And he is a Mayan. He is a person with mysterious powers. He has even the powers to draw our heart towards him. So when you sing such way, in such a way, Krishna, we, along with all of us, Krishna will be so pleased that we will achieve in our mission. We will achieve in our vow that Krishna will become our husband. So this is the verse in a gist. What she is trying to say, it is a conversation. And the conversation is, let's go through this once more quickly. Conversation is, first line, you have the sweet tone and you are singing like a tender parrot. Why are you asleep? She says, don't call me out in such shrill voices. And it is annoying me because I'm already in spiritual experience. Never mind, I'm coming outside. Oh, you are such a clever girl. The girls from outside with Andal, they say, you're a clever girl. You promise, but you never make it happen. And then the girl within starts to retort. And this is the most important part of this verse. She retorts, she puts the blame back, but then she repents and says, okay, the fault is all mine. Then the question comes that why are you so special? Why are you enjoying alone? Why are you not in association of devotees? She says, I would like to be in association of devotees. Has everyone arrived? She says, yes, everyone has arrived. Andal says, why don't you come out and count each and every one of them? She says, is that what all I should do? Is that all that I should do? Then Andal says, no, you're supposed to glorify that Krishna who killed the elephant Kuvalya Pitha. You're supposed to glorify, take his names, and he's the one who has killed Chanura and Mushtika and who has killed all the enemies. And with that, he attracts even our hearts. So in this way, Andal, very beautifully, she is explaining these verses. Now, what is important for us is to understand a very important concept in it. Now, we go to the third dimension where the acharyas immediately try to explain us each and every single point. Now, the verse starts with this entire concept, which we are supposed to learn through this verse, which is association and amanina manadena. Give all respect to others and expect no respect to yourself. Amanina manadena. This aspect, what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us, is very much exhibited in this verse. How we should go back in Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can see so many different ways where this is being depicted. For example, we all know the pastime of the elephant who raised his trunk, gave the lotus flower at the time of distress, and pleased Lord Narayan. Whom are we talking about? Can anyone tell us? The elephant? Here in
Gajendra.
this Gajendra. Absolutely right. We are talking about Gajendra. Now, if you remember, Gajendra's previous life, he was a king. What was his name? Yes, somebody was saying. Please go ahead.
Indradumna. King
Indradumna.
Indradumna. How did he become a Gajendra?
Agastya.
Because he was disrespecting the sages by not welcoming them.
Agastya. Yes. So he disrespected Agastya. He was offering flowers to his lordships. At that time, the sage Agastya arrived, or the sages arrived. And at that time, he did not get up and welcome them properly. So they said that because you are not welcoming us, you will become you very much an elephant. And that way he became Gajendra. Now, so many days and years he is worshipping his lordships by offering flowers. The Lord did not appear. But as Gajendra, he continued the practice of picking up that flower and offering it to him. Immediately the Lord appeared. So this is very wonderful to know that when everything was all right, the Lord did not appear. But when a curse was given, when there was a retort given, when it was a curse, but given by a Vaishnava, even that is for our benefit. So Agastya's curse, Gajendra immediately got Lord Narayan's darshan. Immediately means in that lifetime, after so many years of struggle. So we are supposed to understand that Vaishnava's curse. Can we think about one more pastime we generally do in Kartik month, where a person who was cursed by a Vaishnava, but they both got the benefit?
Nal Kuber Manigriv.
Nal Kuber and Manigriv. Very absolutely correct. They were taking bath in the heavenly kingdoms and they were not covering their body, because of which Narada Muni gave them a curse that you will be born as trees. But they were born in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, due to which Damodar liberated both of them. So here also we see that the curse which is coming from Narada is actually benefiting Manigriva and Nalakuvara. In fact, if Manigriva and Nalakuvara were living in the divine planet of Kubera or in the upper realms of the Devatas, may or may not be, they might not get the darshan of Krishna. But due to this curse, when they were the great Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, they were fortunate enough to take the darshan of the Lord. So in this way, in this verse also, the gopi who is within realizes this. And she says that even if some people are speaking harsh about me, in fact, it is for my benefit. So how this is actually showcased, we will see in today's verse. The first line which is being spoken is calling the girl as a tender, sweet parrot. Why is she being called as a parrot? Because she was singing very, very sweetly within her house. She was on the bed, but she was sweet. She was singing so sweetly that these girls, they were astonished when they reached at her doorstep. They were thinking that all the verses that we have spoken from verse number 4 to verse number 14, she has made a very nice song out of it, and she's singing all the glories of Krishna in that tune. And she is singing with perfect raga, tala, bhava, and it is so melodious to listen to that immediately they said, LA. LA means, wow, what a wonderful performance. What a wonderful melodious singing, which is coming from this house. It seems like she's singing so beautifully. She has got such a nice voice. Hence, she is a parrot. Now, my question is, my dear devotees, why is she compared to a parrot? Generally, name the bird who is expert in singing. Which is the bird who is expert in singing?
Poet.
Which bird? Koel, cuckoo, or which other bird is expert in singing? They call it also the nightingale, right? They call it as very expert in singing. So in this way, she was called Elle Ilankilie, O tender parrot. So the reason why she was called as a parrot and not a cuckoo or a nightingale is very interesting, the acharyas tell us. In fact, a parrot is quite bright green with a red beak to look at, and the cuckoo sings even better than a parrot. But here, the comparison is given as O tender parrot. Tender means one whose age is very, very less. You are a very tender girl. You are a Nanda Vraja Kumarika. The reason is twofold in nature. Acharyas say first thing. A cuckoo sings in its own voice, its own raga, what she wants to sing. A cuckoo or a nightingale. But here, the girl is not singing what she wants to sing. She is singing from verse number 4 to verse number 14, which is sung by all the other devotees of the Lord. Hence, she is repeating the verses or the glorification which has been already sung in verse number 4 to 14. Because a parrot, it speaks very beautifully, but because it is repeating the same words of the acharyas, hence it is even more sweeter. So Andal is so particular, she could have used the word cuckoo or a nightingale, but because she's humming or singing the song which was already narrated, she addresses the gopi within as a parrot. But here she calls her as a tender parrot. Wow. Oh, tender parrot. Now, why is she called as a tender parrot? A parrot who is of very young age. That means there is somebody of an older age. There is an older parrot as well amongst them. And who is that? None other than Shukdev Goswami. Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva, he is not very old. He is also 16 to 17 years old. But at the same time, Andal is calling her, the girl who is singing within, as a more tender parrot, is to say that while Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken and sung by Shukdev Goswami in a very sweet way, you have also sung even better than that parrot, because even with more tender voice, because you are also glorifying Krishna's name. So that's why she addresses her as Elle Ilankiliye. That means, oh, tender parrot. But what will we learn out of this? The acharyas mentioned the first point, that by addressing a person as tender parrot, we have to learn that the words which are uttered by those who have a taste for spiritual matters, it should be sweet, pleasant, and clear. So that means that any words that we address to those devotees who have a specific taste of spiritual Krishna consciousness, we should address them as sweet, pleasant, and clear words, with sweet, pleasant, and clear words. So, Elle Ilankiliye, even though she was not coming out, her addressal, Andal is setting a gold standard for Vaishnavas. And these Vaishnava etiquettes, what we are going to see in each line, there are 10 of them that we will see. And what we learn in each line is the golden sutra of Amanina Manadena. Because many devotees have this question, how do we give respect to all and expect none for ourselves? This is the way that we actually achieve. First one is always with when we meet anyone, we utter sweet, pleasant, and clear words. The second verse says that once she has been addressed as a parrot, there is one other important meaning that we need to know, that a parrot, if you look at it, it is very beautiful. The greenish color that it has, and it has got a reddish beak. And when we see the pictures of Keshav in the picture treatise at the end of the class, we also say that the parrots are none other than acharyas. Why is it so? Why is the parrot mentioned as an acharya? Because in the scriptures it is mentioned that the body of the spiritual master is very lustrous, because it is always in touch with Krishna consciousness. Through his body, he is always engaging in Krishna conscious activities, and hence he is always in touch with Parampara and Krishna, due to which his entire body is lustrous, just like the greenish tinge which is there, the greenish fuzz which is there on the parrot or its feathers. And when you look at the red beak of the parrot, it is compared to the love of God of the spiritual master. So, in this way, the parrots are in the art or the poetic form as well, they are compared to the spiritual master. So, here the gopis are also addressing as a tender parrot Sukadeva Goswami's alike, or even a better singer, because they want to seek her association. And the question comes, are you still asleep? Are you still sleeping? Innum murangideyo, that are you still sleeping inside? So, what is that? They are talking about why are you sleeping inside when there is a full chance of you coming out and associating with us. There, the Acharyas mention a very, very important verse and an important instruction, that when there are devotees standing at our door, when there is a chance in our life to associate with other devotees, please do not sleep. Please do not rest. Please do not allow any material activities to take precedence over that act. Like Srila Prabhupada mentioned, A for association. That is very important. B for books, C for chanting, which means A, B, C of Krishna consciousness starts with association. The B and C even increases its strength when it is done along with A. That means if you read books along with devotees, if you chant along with devotees, that means in association of devotees, our spiritual success is much, much better. So, when Andal asks this question, are you still sleeping inside? From this, we gather that with the when the association of devotees is available, it is very wrong to keep away from it and to be preoccupied with other material or other interests. Our first interest should be to join such a group, should be joining the association of devotees. So the first line itself gives us two important instructions of how we progress towards giving respect to all others. First is to have very sweet words, give respect to others. Second is to always think about gaining their association, not giving precedence to our own activities. O tender parrot, why are you still asleep? Is the first line which is spoken to the girl. Up comes the reply, shrill are your voices. Do not summon me like this. Your voices are very shrill in nature. Sill and I am in. She says, your voices are very shrilling. It is destroying my experience. What is that the Acharyas are trying to say? The Acharyas are trying to say that one should always respect the devotees. Sometimes they might come with a harsh admonition. They might curse. They might give strong words. Or in other words, they might give a hot sauce. Our own spiritual master might have a statement to say against us for our own benefit, to correct our mistakes, to tweak our ears, or to chastise us so that we improve in Krishna consciousness. So what do we do? The Acharyas are explaining that these words signify that however might be the harsh the words are, however harsh the admonition is, those who have a taste for spiritual masters, they should endure. They should not make a grievance out of it. Oh, this person said it like this. They don't like me. Did you see the tone and tenor? They don't like me. Seems like there is a personal vendetta against me. There is a revengeful attitude against me. There is actually jealousiness against me. Hence, I won't associate with this person. This is not the thought process of a Vaishnava devotee who wants to stay in the Amanina Manadena platform. When there is a harsh admonition given your way, immediately we should endure, and we should think that those who have a taste in spiritual matters, they should endure and they should not make a grievance out of it. And that is why you see the girl from within, she says, "Oh, perfect girls, I am coming." Immediately she understands that I have said a word that your voices are very shrill in nature. But she says, "You are perfect in nature, hence I am coming outside." So, what she is saying is that, my dear devotees, I am going to come outside myself because I see the worth in associating with all of you. All of you, 4,99,999 gopis, you are all assembled here. And for me, association is more important than remembering the Lord also. Association of Bhagavatas, association of devotees is very important. Once I remember in Juhu, I was attending Srimad Bhagavatam class. It was a one peculiar class. And we all know it happens between 8:15 to 9 a.m. And in between, we know that when the Bhagavatam class immediately starts, afterwards, the temple doors close. And after some time, after the bhoga and all of the proceedings which happens in the altar, at around say 8:30, 8:45 a.m., the temple doors will open again. And generally, it was a practice that as the Srimad Bhagavatam speaker is speaking, and if the deities are Shri Shri Radha Gopinath or Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari, or if it is Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, sometimes the speaker will say Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, and everybody, while listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, they will pay their obeisances. Or sometimes the speaker will continue speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, but when the temple opens with a small bell, ting ting, and then the temple opens, everybody will look sideways while they are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and they'll pay their obeisances. Now, once there was a question by a speaker, and I don't remember the speaker, but he said very beautiful point. While Srimad Bhagavatam was going on and the temple door opened, everybody paid obeisances. He said it's not necessary to pay obeisances. Everybody was shocked. Krishna is giving darshan and we are not supposed to pay obeisances. What is this rule? Why are we not supposed to pay obeisances? Some people said, oh, this is respect. He said, right now, I am having the association of devotees. And in the association of devotees, I am hearing the topmost katha of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the topmost. When we come along with devotees, we are supposed to take sakshat darshan through Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. At that time, even Krishna comes right in front. The importance is katha. Because the katha is so wonderful that sometimes that ghanti, even though it is very wonderful, it looks a little shrill in its experience. So the girl within here also is saying, so the speaker was saying that it's fine, it's individual respect that you can give respect to the deities, but if you are enjoying the katha at that length and breadth in terms like a pure devotee, or if you are enjoying completely and you're giving respect to Srimad Bhagavatam, it's okay. Krishna will not take an offense. Krishna is more pleased to see our rapt attention in hearing the message given by the speaker through Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, what I'm trying to say is not to compare and contrast or find a mistake or suggest a change. What I'm trying to say is that the importance of hearing while having association of devotees is considered even more greater. Because to hear the pastimes of the Lord, constantly remember the pastimes of the Lord is most important. So here she says that I will come myself outside. You are all perfect girls. I will come outside and I will associate with you. And the acharyas give us this explanation that she thought while sleeping inside the house, she was thinking, these girls don't talk so sweetly to me. They're calling me a very tender parrot. And they are then asking, why are you still asleep? So there is a duality in the statement. First, there is a glorification. Then there is an accusation. So it seems like they are using sarcasm against me. So for sarcasm, she gives a reply of sarcasm that, why is your voice so shrill? Never mind, I'm going to come outside. So there is also a sarcasm within there. And this continuation of sarcasm happens in the next 2-3 lines. But when she says, you girls are very perfect, let me come outside, Acharyas are sending a very clear message. When the devotees are doing Nam Sankirtan, don't have an individual Kirtan in your house. When the devotees of the house are doing their individual agenda, but you find that the devotees, there are a larger set of devotees just next to your house congregated for a higher purpose, please join them. Our Sankirtan is congregational chanting of the holy name, and it is more sweeter, more wonderful when all the devotees come together. So, the fourth message that the acharyas are trying to give us is that every spiritual aspirant should not indulge in reciprocating with harsh retorts, but in a very courteous tone, with reverence, come into the association of devotees. This is very, very important. Even if somebody is harshly criticizing us, do not think and deliberate upon it so much. Come out of it and indulge in Nam Sankirtan along with the association of devotees. She says, I'm coming outside. But what is the reply coming from Andal? Please, we have heard about you so much. And we know for certain that you might not turn up. But before that, she says that we have heard that you have made so many promises, but you have not kept up to those promises. You are a very manipulator of words. You will say you are coming, but you will not come. And this is very difficult for us. We are very familiar with your tongue. It is bitter and it has full of sarcasms. So there is another harsh admonition coming her way for the girl who is sleeping within. First, they said, you are a tender, sweet parrot, glorification. Second, they said, you are still asleep. Third, now there is a admonition which is coming her way. And what is the harsh words? It is saying that we know your tongue is super sweet and at the same time it is bitter and there is sarcasm coming your way and you are a manipulator of words. So the girl within, she immediately retorts. Now she was thinking I should not retort, but she immediately retorts. She says, you all are clever and harsh. It's not me who is clever and harsh. It is you. So there is a counter blame which is being put on Andal and the gopis. And immediately she repents on that. As a Vaishnava, I should not do this. She says, fine. Maybe we are having a very harsh argument. I am the person who is harsh. Nanedan na yudaga. It is my mistake. I replied back to you in a harsh tone, but the mistake is all mine. So the acharyas are given here a very beautiful example of Bharata. And we discussed this in Ramayana as well. How Shatrughna and Lakshmana were speaking with each other. And when they were speaking with each other, they spoke to themselves. And Shatrughna and Lakshmana said, you know, who is the person who is responsible for sending Lord Rama to the forest, Mother Sita to the forest? It is this mantra. It is because of this mantra that we are sending this our Ram and Lakshman and Mother Sita to the forest. When Shatrughna immediately was about to take a sword and punish Mantra. And while he was going to punish Mantra, he found a hand stopping the sword. And he saw that the hand was of Bharata. And Shatrughna asked, why are you stopping me? You know that Mantra is the cause of everything. And Bharata said, it is not the mistake of Mantra. Then Shatrughna asks, why do you say that it is not the mistake of Mantra? In fact, she is the reason of everything. She polluted the mind of Kaikeyi. Bharata says, a maid servant is supposed to be loyal to the person who is giving her the wages. Here in this case, she is a maid servant and the owner of the maid servant is none other than Kaikeyi. She is the one paying wages to Mantra. So it is very natural to please the master, the servant might say something. So it is very natural for Mantra to say something which will please Kaikeyi and in best of her interests. So it is not her mistake. Then Shatrughna said, then let this sword fall on my mother because she is the one who sent Lord Rama away. Bharata said, Kaikeyi is also not at fault. Shatrughna said, how? Because a mother is always interested in the benefit of the child. And in this case, she chose me as the next prince-elect to become the king. So a mother's heart is a mother's heart. So Kaikeyi is not at fault. Then Shatrughna said, then it is Dasharatha, surely Dasharatha's fault. Why would he say in the Rajya Sabha that Rama will become the king? And while coming into the palace, hearing Kaikeyi, he said that let Bharata be the king and sending Rama to the forest. This is duplicit words. Hence, this should not be accepted. It is Dasharatha's fault. Again, Bharata said, this is not Dasharatha's fault. Dasharatha's fault, it is not that he made a different statement. He made it so that he could keep up to the vows that he has given to Kaikeyi before. Pran jaye par vachan na jaye. That even if life is lost, but the vow that the Ishwaku Vamsha has given, the Surya Vamsha that has given, that should not fail. So it is not Dasharatha's fault. He just wanted to protect the words of Surya Kula. Then Shatrughna said, then it is Rama's fault. As the eldest son, he should have said, Father, I don't accept this. You are giving duplicit statements. And he should have stayed and accepted the kingdom. Bharata said, it is not even Rama's fault. Shatrughna said, how? Because as an eldest son, he just obeyed his father, and that is the duty. Then Shatrughna kept down his sword and said, my dear brother, tell me, it is whose fault? Whose fault is it that this person is going to the forest? Bharata said, it is my fault. He said, how is it your fault? How is Bharata, this your fault? He said, I went to Matrukula. I went to my maternal uncle's place, to Ashwapati's house. It is my fault. And more than that, it is my fault that I was born. Because I was born, this interest came in Kaikeyi's heart. And she asked to Dasharath, and Dasharath was supposed to change. Just imagine, Shatrughna, if I was not born. This Rajya and all of you would have been together. This is a Vaishnava. The Vaishnava is the one who should be able to disregard the faults of others and accept the blame as his own. Dharanat iti bharataha is the example given here. That is what the girl is also doing. She says, I'm very sorry. It is not your fault. It's not your shrill voices. It's not that I am a very talkative person or you are expert and I'm putting the counter blame on you. The mistake is truly mine. It is neither mantras. It is neither Kaikeyi's. It is neither Dasharatha's. It is neither Rama's. Bharata says the mistake is truly mine. And we can actually see this in our own life. When we are walking by the forest, when we keep a foot on the thorn, and when we are in pain and agony, we actually say it in English also like this, that we keep the foot on the thorn. So whose mistake it is? It is our mistake. But when somebody asks, why are you crying? Why are you in pain? You say that the thorn has stuck me. How can a thorn, an insentient matter, have intelligence to see your foot and see your feet and then prick itself to your foot? It is not possible. But we say that the thorn was stuck in my foot, as if it is a sentient being. It is not. But we have this tendency to blame others. We have this tendency to speak harsh about others. So this girl is saying, it is clear that one who are spiritually aspirants, one who are spiritual devotees, they should be able to disregard the fault of others. This is the most important crux. Amanina manadena. Like how the Bharata's example actually gives us. Then when she understands this mistake, Andal says, come out quickly. Don't wait anymore. You have already understood your mistakes. Come out. From this, we learn that the association of the devotees is the only sustenance that keeps up our life as a spiritual devotee. Without association, we should not even waste one moment. If we are getting association, we should take it. And how should we take association? 70 to 80% with seniors, 10% with peers, or even 60% with seniors, 20-30% with peers, and last 10% with juniors. However, we should allocate the highest percentage, which should be from those where we can learn, where our ears are tweaked. 20-30% should be with peers whom we can inspire and get inspiration. And 10% with juniors to execute service, not as a master, but to pass on Krishna's legacy to others. So in this way, we should come out quickly out of our inhibitions and we should associate with devotees. The seventh lesson that she says is that come out quickly. Why you are enjoying yourself alone? This is the question asked by Andal. The seventh lesson that we learn is we should not try to enjoy Krishna alone. Mahajanas gatasya yena pantha. We should travel in those paths which the Mahajanas have taken, the spiritual masters have taken. So while the girl who is pondering within that whether all have assembled or not, she asks a question to Andal, tell me, have everyone arrived? This is the question she says, because Andal is now saying, come out. Don't sleep inside, come out and come out quickly. Why are you enjoying alone, Krishna? Share with all of us. We are all here, 4,99,999. The girl within asks, has everyone, each and every devotee arrived? Right? What is the meaning here? Our acharyas explain that we should not make discrimination. We should not make discrimination in a way that which devotee I should associate and which devotee I should not associate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Amanina manadena, respect everyone. Everyone, irrespective of age, caste, creed, gender, respect each and every spirit soul and expect no respect for yourself. And hence she's saying, has everyone arrived? This everyone stands for everyone. All the Vaishnavas arrived. I am eager to take association with everyone. And then Andal says, yes, they have arrived. Why don't you come outside and touch each and everyone and count them? This means that you should ensure that there is no Vaishnava left behind. Each and every community of devotees, we should associate with each and everyone. There should be Vani and touch each and everyone. That means there should be Vapu. With our spiritual master, we should have both the services. We should have Vapu and Vani. So it is very important that we come to devotees and personally, physically serve them. And also by hearing their instructions, we serve them. And also engaging physically in their service. And we should not leave anyone behind. And while we touch them, we are trying to say count means we should count their good qualities and we should always try to count our bad qualities. We should always try to see how many devotees are better than us, count how many devotees are better, and always count that how I am left out. In the song Ke Jabi Ve Bhai, Loknath Goswami, he actually sings this beautiful song. And he says, the boat has gone. The lame, the blind, the handicapped, everybody has crossed over to the other side, to the spiritual abode. But who is left behind? Only I am left behind on this shore. What can I do? Narottam Das Thakur also sings in this way that my boat is stuck in this big typhoon and I am not able to escape. Only Gauranga Mahaprabhu, please rescue me because only I am left behind. So this is the true nature of a Vaishnava when he counts how many devotees are better. Again, Amanina Manadena. And the last and final one, she says, yes, everybody has arrived. You can count. What am I supposed to do? You are supposed to sing the glories of the Lord. And which glory? Krishna killing that elephant. Krishna killing the enemies Chanura and Mushtika. And Krishna is such a big, mysterious, beautiful young boy of Braja that he will steal our heart. So here also there is a great meaning. The elephant stands for our arrogance. When we are associating with devotees, we should congregationally chant, it kills our arrogance. We should not be arrogant when we are in the association of devotees. We should not think that we are greater than one another. Oh, that person has that skill. I am better singer. I am a better orator. I can do this service better. No, there is no competitor mentality in here. So just like the elephant Kuvalya Pitha was, its arrogance was brought down. And Krishna is like this. And we saw this in our previous class. Krishna is like this. Krishna is very difficult to be understood. In this verse itself, in this verse itself, we have examples of two elephants. An elephant which he protected and an elephant which he killed. The elephant he protected was Gajendra. The elephant whom he killed was Kuvalyapitha. And Krishna is like this. Lord Rama is like this. He protected a monkey, he killed a monkey. He protected Sugriva, he killed Vali. And Rama is like this. He killed a king and he protected a king. Which king are you talking about? Ravana he killed. His own brother, Vibhishana, he saved. Kumbhakarna he killed. Vibhishana he saved. He protected an aunt's son and he killed an aunt's son. That means his nephew. He protected Arjuna on the battlefield. He killed Shishupala. Krishna is very bewildering. Krishna can do both. And here she says, hence we should not be arrogant. So Krishna here in this example of Kuvalyapitha, and it's very beautiful, we'll see in the Srimad Bhagavatam references when we draw the connections, is talking about how the arrogance is killed, how the arrogance of the elephant is killed. And then she further says, Chanura and Mushtika were killed. These are the enemies in the heart, lust, anger, greed, pride. When all this is killed in the association of devotees, Mukta Sangha Param Rajed, when in the association of the devotees, when we sing the glories of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, when we sing such glories in the association of the Lord, then all these enemies are lost and we will attain what we are waiting for. We will attain Krishna as our husband. We will attain pure love of Godhead. So, Amanina Mana Dena Kirtaniya Sadahari, through these 10, every verse, it is for association and giving respect to all others and expecting no respect to oneself. This is showcased in this verse in its entirety in a very beautiful 10 commandment form. And this is very nicely given by Andal. And we find these references of some of the verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, where we see in the Kuvalyapitha pastime, in 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, before that in Bhagavad Gita, we see how should be our speech and how should be our act. In fact, in 12, 18 and 19, we see this. Tulya ninda sutir mauni santushto yena kena chit aniketa stiram hatir bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Krishna says that who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Such a person is very dear to me. In 43, chapter number 43, verse number 8 to 14 is very wonderful. We'll just read the translations. The Lord of the elephants charged Krishna, this is Kuvalyapitha, and violently seized him with his trunk. But Krishna is expert. He slipped away, struck him a blow and disappeared from his view among his legs. In fact, this is like such a humorous pastime. Lord Krishna struck the elephant with his fist and then disappeared among his legs. Infuriated at being unable to see Lord Keshava, the elephant sought him out with his sense of smell, because elephants are good at smell. Once again, Kuvalyapitha seized the Lord with the end of his trunk. Part 2. Only to have the Lord forcefully free himself. Same result. Lord Krishna then grabbed the powerful Kuvalyapitha by the tail and playfully dragged him 25 bow lengths, as easily as Garuda might drag a snake. So Krishna was toying with Kuvalyapitha. As Lord Achyuta held on to the elephant's tail, the animal tried to twist away to the left and to the right, making the Lord swerve in opposite direction, as a young boy would swerve while pulling a calf by the tail. So it's like a calf's play for Krishna. Then, this is the verse where she sings. Andal is saying, at the same time, same thing that what Shukdev Goswami is saying. Krishna then came face to face with the elephant and slapped him and ran away. Kuvalyapitha pursued the Lord, managing to touch him again and again with each step. But Krishna outmaneuvered the elephant and made him trip and fall. Imagine tripping and making an elephant fall, and Krishna is doing that. As Krishna dodged about, He playfully fell on the ground and quickly got up again. The raging elephant, thinking Krishna was down, tried to gore him with his tusks, but struck with the earth instead. His prowess foiled, the lordly elephant Kovalyapita went into a frenzied rage out of frustration. This is what happens when arrogance seeps in. We go into a frenzied rage out of frustration. And this is what Andal is saying, that we should not have arrogance. If there is arrogance and if there is frustration, and the elephant keepers goad him on, and he furiously charged Krishna once again. The elephant keepers of arrogance, anger, lust, greed, pride, they also goad you on to go more and more. And then what happens one day? The Supreme Lord, killer of the demon Madhu, confronted the elephant as he attacked, seizing his trunk with one hand, threw him on the ground, and finally climbed onto the elephant with ease of a mighty lion, pulled out a tusk, and killed it with the beast and his keepers. So Andal is saying, let us glorify this Lord. Let us glorify him. Of course, this is a Mathura pastime. One might say that, oh, why is she glorifying the Mathura pastime here? Isn't this Vrindavan? Why is she glorifying Mathura? This is happening much later. It's happening in the 8th century. And she says that he also killed Chanura and Mushtika. And he killed all the enemies. And hence, let us glorify him. And by this glorification, hearing the motivation of this glorification, the girl who is sleeping inside says, I will join you, comes right out, falls at the feet of Andal and says, I'm very sorry, I was trying to enjoy Krishna alone. And she also joins the lot of the gopis. Now, the 5 lakh gopis are complete. They are all together. Took us 10 weeks to get all the gopis together. But now they're going to march towards the river Yamuna. Are they going to go to Yamuna? Are they going somewhere else? Have they changed their motive? Are they looking forward to complete the vow in time? It's a great task that they have achieved, everyone together. Their enthusiasm is right at the peak. They're singing out their heart and they're singing out loud. Will they achieve? Will they go? You have to come next week and try to know, where is our katha going? After all the 5 lakh gopis have come together, where are they going to go? For that, please come next week. But before that, as usual, the favorite part of the pastimes, which is to see the pictures, and please try to guess the meanings of the words today. Okay. Yes, what do you see?
The elephant, of course. Krishna.
Kovalyapita, in fact, is shedding a tear as well. It's very comical. But, and what do you see here? On the
Kamsa.
top, Kamsa. Yes, the enemies, Chanura, Mushtika, and Kamsa were killed. And you see gopis here trying to open the door and convince the girl. Yes, here, what do you see this pastime as? And this pastime, 2 people falling at the feet.
One is the last gopi.
One is the gopi falling at Andal's feet and say, I need your pastime. I need your association.
Association, yes.
And just look at the royal robes and try to understand who might be these 2 personalities.
Bharata and Rama.
Absolutely right. This is Bharata and Lord Ram. He's saying it's my mistake. And what did he get? The Padukas. And of course, you see here the Kovalyapita dragging by its tail 25 bow lengths. If you want to see how he dragged, this is how he dragged. It's a tough position for the elephant with its trunk and legs tucked in. Right. Here you go. A detailed look of how Krishna dragged him. Okay, this one. Both the faces are one. That means both in the association of devotees take each other's qualities. And what do we see here?
Parrot.
Parrots.
Which parrot? Tender, sweet,
Tender green.
Tender parrots.
tender,
Acharyas.
sweet parrot. That's the
And
acharyas with the
like
red beak
us,
of love of
acharyas.
Godhead and illustrious illustrious body. Very nice. Wow, how many parrots? This is very interesting, this one. This is very interesting. So many parrots, that means that association. So many parrots also mean acharyas and following by their instruction.
But I see a deer, Prabhuji.
Yes, a deer and also a parrot.
Parrot
Within.
that is kind of entangled in the horns of the deer.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe there might be something that I do not know. We'll have to see the meaning. I'm not sure what it is. But if you see the Govardhan, how is the Govardhan held?
Upside down.
Why is it upside down?
For allowing the cows to graze on top.
Yes, let the grass fall down and it's easier for the cows to graze. So beautiful. And the last one here. Already Kamsa is Lord Ramchandra lifting Govardhan, killing the tusk of Kuvalya Pita, and you see the girl running outside and falling at the feet of Andal. And this elephant, one of its tusk is broken, and this elephant is Gajendra. It is having a lotus. And yes, Padukas. And the girl is also crying and saying, the mistake is truly mine. Such nice pictures where it helps us to understand the mood of the gopi. Thank you very, very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yadatras kalitam kinchit vidvam satpurayantu tat yadasasaustubam kinchit tat guru reva me nahi. Hare Krishna. If there are any comments, mistakes, those are truly mine. But if you found something nice in today's verse, all glories go to Andal and the brilliant Gopi who is teaching us association and also talking about how to respect others and giving us a 10 commandments of how to do it. And all the acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, none are to me. Thank you very much. If there are any comments, clarifications, feedbacks, critiques, more than happy to discuss them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji, thank you for a very, very beautiful class and for a very interactive class and the beautiful PPTs. Thank you for the beautiful quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam. As you spoke about the importance on the association of devotees, and we should not discriminate on our devotees, on which devotees association we should take. All devotees, whenever we have a chance, we should take their Vapo and Vani association as well, and we should count all the good qualities that devotees have, and give them full respect, not wanting any respect in return, as is said, Amani na amana dena, Kirtana Sadahari. And he also mentioned on chanting together kills one's ignorance. All these enemies, lust, anger, and pride is killed and destroyed. Thank you very much. Very grateful to you, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead and share.
Hare Krishna, Prahlad Mahaprabhu.
Prabhuji, please unmute yourself.
Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Very nice discourse. In fact, it was like a mirror seeing yourself, where you sang, especially Bharat's episode, which was very heart-touching. Thank you very much for that. But I have this query. Vaishnava Acharya is also Asata Sangha Tyagai Vaishnava Acharya, right? So, do you think there are devotees in the garb of devotees and then Asat? Is that a possibility like that? We have heard this Patana, some episode like that in the news. It was there that the temple president exploited some young females, and they did complete nonsense. All right, now how can I go and associate with such a person, even if he is putting mala, tilak, everything, and he's a complete cheat? This is what really bothers me many a time. Because people are in the garb of devotee and they are not devotee. All right. And why should I associate with such a person? This is sometimes very frustrating for me, Prabhu. So, I'll seek your guidance, Prabhu. Very much.
Very important question, Prabhu. So, first and foremost, I heard when somebody calls an individual a devotee,
Mhm.
then generally the materialistic tendencies,
Mhm.
which is of cheat, deceit,
Mhm.
or to utilize certain activities, power, position for one's own fame or satisfying material intention. This is not the definition of the word devotee.
All right.
A devotee means devoted,
Mhm.
devoted completely to Krishna.
Right.
So while somebody who is practicing devotional service
Mhm.
is like in the reformation of a jail,
Right.
reformation is ongoing.
Mhm.
And while the person is in reformation,
Mhm.
the devotees are grateful, though they might be seeing certain faults in that person, they'll still call him a devotee.
Wow.
That is the greatness of the Vaishnavas.
Mhm.
Now, when it comes to associate,
Mhm.
we are not saying intimately associate and share your heart with people if you know they have faults.
Mhm.
We are not asking them to do so.
Mhm.
What we are asking is that kindly give respect to each and every entity. Amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. So give respect. Even if somebody does fault, as a spirit soul, as a part and parcel of Krishna, we should give respect. We might lose respect because of a person's activity, but we should not hate a soul. We should give chance to reformation. And punishment can be given by authorities. However, we should respect everyone. We should not expect respect from others. This is what is being talked about. It is not our perjury to really demarcate one who is a devotee and one who is not by its acts. If we are given that responsibility, we should execute it, but still there should be respect. For example, a Supreme Court judge gives a punishment of hang by death, but also respects his three wishes at the end. He doesn't say that I hate you so much that you don't have any last wishes. Be it such a bad criminal, still he will get his last wish. That is respect. As a spirit soul, as an individual. And many people reform at that time, they ask forgiveness. So even in the material context of judiciary, this respect quotient is given. So we should not be quick to judge. We should give respect. And especially in the devotee circles, if we find somebody who is falling from the ranks, we should try to deflect that matter to seniors or bring it to seniors and have a correct understanding. We don't need to push it under the rug. If we are in authority, we should bring it up. But we should not be always in the fault finding mode that this person is like this, that person is like this. Like we read Krishna conscious books. Prabhupada says non-devotees are never are demons, or say he says atheists are demons. Or then we say, all others are atheists. I am a devotee. I am reading this book. No. When Prabhupada writes non-devotees, atheists, we should think, oh yeah, this is addressing to me. I have to develop qualities. Not that I am 20 years Krishna conscious, I give lectures, so this word is not for me. A Vaishnava will always think like that. I am an adhama, I am a patita. Truly, not by words. This is my understanding, Prabhuji. We should try maximum to reflect on our mistakes than the mistakes of others. But if we are in an authoritative position, we should send it to seniors. And
Yeah,
association,
that's clear,
association
Prabhuji.
here is, yeah.
But I would not like to associate with such a person.
Yeah. It's not recommended also.
Yeah, that's
Respect
right.
is what is.
Yeah, that's because asatsang is something which is going to infect me. That's what I fear
Correct.
a lot.
Correct.
Yeah.
In fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says we should not share our heart with materialists,
Mhm.
but we respect them.
Right. Respect
Like
we will give to even a
Yes.
cockroach in the house. That's what we
Correct.
do. Yeah, but
Correct.
but such a person association, I would 100% avoid.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
yeah, that's what I was understanding.
True.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Thank you
Your
so much.
association is so purifying. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Likewise, bro. Likewise. Hare Krishna. Yes, Nishta Bhakti Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavata Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Very beautiful, Prabhuji. Nectarian pastime of the last gopi. So, my question to you is, Prabhuji, as you mentioned that Bharat was such a elevated devotee that he was so gunagrahi that he could not see faults in mantra, even after such a big chaotic offense she committed, and there was such a turmoil in the life of everybody at Ayodhya. So, and he took the fault on himself that he should not have been born. So, can you give me more examples from Shastra and how can we implement it practically?
This is a very high state. To reach there, we have to slowly practice and feel. First step is to, as we said, all these 10 commandments are today's lecture is an indication of how to reach there. First, our Vani should be sweet. Second, we should not sleep whenever association is available, which means from the Shastras, what we are trying to say is that when association is available, if you are staying away, then this practice in itself will not be cultivated. And when we are in the association, we get corrected. Our arrogance, our pride gets shunned. So we should not sleep when there is an association. Even if we hear criticism, we should overcome with our spiritual mode of goodness and practice, and in the association of devotees. We should overcome harsh admonition or curse or chastisement. And we should not retort, we should not react with a chastisement with another one. We should, even if there are two people who are having faults, we should disregard the faults of others. We should only associate and think that this is our sustenance. We should tread the beaten track of the ancient preceptors and predecessors. We should treat all aspirants and honors like no distinction. Sama dukkha, sukha and dukkha should be treated in the same honor. And others who aren't spiritual, we should say that we should think if somebody is not spiritual enough, like how Prahlad Prabhu said, oh, that person is so wicked, he's not spiritual enough. First, we should think, such a big fault of mine that I did not execute Srila Prabhupada's service of preaching in every town and village. If this preaching would have been done as Prabhupada would have requested, if I would have done that preaching, then this person would have been me, or through associating of devotees, not only through me, through all of us, we should have done it. Oh, I should have taken this step. If we think like that, then we are progressing. And we should awake and sing in the association of devotees. So all these 10 steps that we spoke about right now is a word from the Shastras to say how we develop this quality of respecting all and finding mistakes in ourselves. And this whole verse of Andal is a testament to this process.
Prabhuji, can you give some examples from other scriptures, like you mentioned about Ramayana? So, where can we see taking blame on yourself and
Lord Shiva
not saying
in the assembly of the Ganas. There was curse and counter curse going on from the Brahmanas, Ganas, everyone. Daksha's episode. It's a perfect example. What did Lord Shiva do? He kept quiet. And at the end, he punished also as Lord Shiva, but then he was tolerant. And the examples we saw here of Manigriva and Nalakovara, the examples we saw of Indradyumna and Gajendra. So these are some of the examples. And there are many more in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Shringi Rishi, when he put the snake, he did not counter curse. Parikshit Maharaj could have counter cursed. He accepted his fault. And what he got? He got Srimad Bhagavatam. So these are examples of accepting one's mistakes and not retorting and kind of doing the harsh retort or reacting to the situation in an antagonistic way. This is all accepting the fate. thinking it's my mistake. I should rectify myself. These are some of the examples, Mataji. There are many more in Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll have to see it from this lens. Then we'll get more, even more.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Danvat pranams.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other questions?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very, very nice, insightful session. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. If there are no more questions, then back to you, back to the host. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Vrinda Gopika Mataji and Harita Mataji are thanking you in the chat. Harita Mataji says, Hare Krishna, Dhanva Pranam. Thank you for a very insightful class. My takeaway is to be in association of devotees and get their good qualities and respect them in any situation. Hare Krishna,
Yes,
dear
thank you, Mataji.
devotees. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If there are no more questions or realizations, I would like to thank His Grace Haridas Prabhuji for his valuable time and association this morning. Thank you for a very beautiful class, very interactive class as always, Prabhu. Thank you for the beautiful session on the Sacred Vow of Margashirsha. Very grateful to you and looking forward to the next Friday, waiting eagerly. I would like
Yeah.
to pay my obeisances to His Grace Haridas Prabhuji and all the assembled devotees. Do I have your permission to close up? Vancha kalpatarubyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vishnubhyo namo namah. Samasta Vaishnavinda ki jai.